So we're at the point where we're considering a vacation house on the Cape. Might be a young family, you're looking for an opportunity for your children to grow up in the summers on Cape Cod, with the beaches and the sailing and the kayaking and the different sports, golf and the like. And that is just wonderful. It's a decision my parents made in 1964. And I'm actually standing on the deck of the house they bought in 1964. All right. And this has been the very center of our family's life since that decision. Now, we lived in Westchester County in New York, but spent every summer from 1964 on here at this house. And we also came up on vacations. We were about 5 hours away, and so any 3-day weekend we'd sneak up, and it was just a wonderful decision. And they chose wisely because they remembered what they were trying to find. They were trying to find a place that would build memories for the family and give the children, my two sisters and myself, the opportunity to develop their love of Cape Cod, love of nature, love of sports, something that they wanted a location that would promote all of that. And it's a different decision than, as an example, deciding to retire. So that's what we're going to discuss in today's video. What is important to you? What is the legacy you're trying to leave? All right, and that legacy, by the way, can go beyond your own children. And in this house, my son, my parents' grandson, came here during COVID and lived here for about 8 months, which was a very special for him. He was living in Cambridge at the time. It was nice to have a place where he could go and experience a little more openness. As you can see, we're not surrounded by people. And so for COVID, this became a very, very good decision. So, and my daughter comes here many of her vacations and days off. All right, so what are you looking for? It might be that you want a place that the kids are safe. Well, we have one of the safest towns in America here. Very little violent crime, almost doesn't exist. It's a place where you see kids walking down to the beach. By the way, the beach, you can see those houses in the distance. They're right on the beach. All right, so we're a 3-minute walk down to the beach. And so we spent a lot of time there. Also, we can bike. Going that way, it's back roads all the way to Orleans. And when I say all the way to Orleans, we're talking about 8 miles. I used to regularly get on my bike and just bike that whole distance, all the way from here to First Encounter Beach, which is right on the just before Orleans, and back. There's several beaches along the way, and you'll find that each beach has its own little community, and the kids get to know each other. Never missing friends. 40 years later, 50 years later, I'm still friends with many of those kids that I grew up with. My wife and I went to a dinner at the Orleans Yacht 2 weeks ago, and we figured out there were 11 of us at that dinner that had known each other for over 50 years, coming in the summer to Cape Cod. It's a unique experience growing up. So what we're going to do is show you some of the highlights of what makes Eastham such a good place for a vacation house. All right, and we'll start off right here. When we have that beach that we talked about, right over there across the marsh. This marsh is actually owned by the Wellfleet Audubon Society, and it is a walk that I used to do almost daily growing up, down to the beach, across a little stream, and up into the Audubon Society, where they have classes, they have a little museum, educational hikes. Just wonderful opportunities for a child to be able to have access to so easily. All right, so we're going to take you down now and show you the beach, show you what's at the down this street. All right, so I talked about as a child biking this whole area, so I thought I'd take you on a quick tour of the place in the car. And this is North Eastham near South Sunken Meadow Road. And just put put the camera out the window and let you see what it is like. As you can see, it's a very back road, very back road, very safe, wonderful place for kids to be able to be on their own. Okay, this is where we'd spend every summer, just up and down these streets. All right. So now I'm taking a right onto Tweet Road, and this becomes a dirt road. Again, just a very, very safe place to have kids be able to have some time by themselves. It's like this all the way to Orleans. Little sign here that's saying there's walkers and joggers and children, please drive safely. But the road it's a dirt road. It has a lot of potholes in it, and it's tough to go too fast. Although this section, I don't know how it happened, but this section did get paved, but it stops being paved very quickly. Here we are coming to the end of the paved section. Alright. And I'm taking a right, and this will be a little bit of a U. You'll see we have someone out walking here. And well, let's go this way. Okay. Now, this is funny. This is going to say caution. Okay. There's a sign that says caution, soft sand, 4x4s only. But the trick is to get up a little speed and just keep moving, and you'll be fine. Okay. And now we're broken through. We're now to the houses that are on the water. So we're just now, these back roads, you can see, very safe for kids to bike or walk on, and gives them their freedom without the normal risk. So I like it a lot. My kids loved it. I loved it. It's just special. There's a store that right off of one of these roads. I used to ride up and get my parents a newspaper every day, which was really special. And just to give you an idea of the activity, I mean, you know, two couples on bikes down at the end of South Sunken Meadow Road before. And then we saw the lady out walking. Now you see there's a lady biking in front of us. I mean, it just encourages, wow, a couple of big bumps. Just encourages a very healthy lifestyle. And so that is just wonderful. We're now down the dirt road areas like I was just on. It gets interspersed with paved roads every once in a while. We're on what is a relatively major road called Steel Road, and it goes down to the next beach, okay, which is Cooks Brook Beach. And here we are at Cooks Brook. Here we see more people out biking. The level of activity is just impressive. One of the reasons that people tend to live longer when they retire to the Cape is because they tend to stay much more active. We're pulling up to Nauset Regional High School. This was first occupied in 1972, and my wife was actually in the first graduating class of it, but is now going through major remodeling. A couple of interesting things happen when you have such a large seasonal population. We call them here non-resident taxpayers, And it tends to mean two things. Tax rates are surprisingly low. It's about the only thing on Cape Cod that is low in price. And the schools tend to be very well funded because you have such a large population paying in for a relatively small number of people using the resources. So our police departments tend to be well funded. Our fire departments are well funded. EMTs are well funded. Schools are well funded. All right. And here we are pulling up, I don't know how well you'll be able to see them, but here are the tennis courts. And I'd say the surprising thing is that the taxes are relatively low. The property taxes are relatively low. When my wife and I were dating, we'd ride our bikes up here and play tennis. Okay, we're now at Nauset Light Beach. Now you'll see it gets its name from Nauset Light. And so that's one of the many, many lighthouses on Cape Cod. And it is right out, looking out over the Atlantic Ocean. It has three, every lighthouse has its own pattern for it can be recognized from sea, for the mariners can tell which lighthouse they're looking at. Not as important today with GPS, but back in the days when you didn't have GPS, it was important to be able to recognize which lighthouse you were looking at. This one has three flashes because the original lighthouse here was actually three lighthouses called the Three Sisters. And so when they modernized it to one lighthouse with a spinning light, they kept the rotation at three intervals, and thus honoring the Three Sisters. All right, so here we are walking up to the beach. We're very creative here. You notice it says, the sign says, the beach. This is a beautiful day. Take a look at the waves. Just absolutely gorgeous. And as I say, we are here in September, which is definitely a slower time, but parking lot's pretty full. All right, and we'll walk over to where the stairs are to go down to the beach, so we'll see how many people are on the beach itself. I doubt if there's many people sunbathing because it's in the mid to upper 60s right now. The water's probably in the mid 50s, not balmy beach weather or swimming weather, but still absolutely gorgeous. A lot of people will come here and walk on the beach. It's just absolutely delightful. Absolutely delightful. We do have a little activity going on here. Can't tell exactly what it is. Okay, we're now at Coast Guard Beach. Okay, and it's because of the Coast Guard station right here. Yeah. It is not an active Coast Guard station anymore, but they do bring students here to sleep over for overnight. So one of the unique things about Eastham is that we have what's called the Nauset Marsh. And the Nauset Marsh is this beautiful estuary. Okay, where you can kayak. My son and I would kayak through the Nauset Marsh and up to the outer beach, which we'll now show you over here. And there's great clamming and great fishing. It's just fantastic. And so this is one of the places that we used to come as children. My wife and I still come here, actually. We still love it. But it has several town landings on the marsh. And as I say, you can put boats in, you can clam, you can fish. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Makes this very, very desirable. So you got the beach, but you also have this marsh that has a lot of waterways in it that you can kayak and motorboat in. So what's important is for you to figure out what your family's looking to do and get the house that actually will support that. That's why we get so many phone calls from people who watch these videos, because we can match up their interests and their activities and get them in a house that will actually invite them out to do that. That it will be in a situation that makes that easy. So please reach out if you have any questions. Put questions down in the comment section and hit the like and subscribe button. All right, so that is Eastham, Massachusetts. My favorite town on the Cape to vacation. Okay, not my #1 choice for retiring, but for vacationing, this is it. It's got the kayaking, it's got the fishing, it's got the ocean beaches, got the bay beaches, got the pond beaches. I didn't show you that, I should have, sorry, but there's a great pond, which is where I took my swimming lessons. I used to bike over myself and take my swimming lessons, and got my lifeguard certificate there. And it's got the bike path that goes 30 miles from Orleans out to Provincetown. It has this beautiful path going from Coast Guard back to the National Seashore Visitor Center. It is so outdoor oriented that it doesn't matter if you play tennis, swim, cycle, all of it. Eastham's perfect.